great hacking works. So he's working in the board team. Now, besides that, there are other type of hackers. One is activists. They are actually called hacktivists. Maybe you heard name of you maybe you heard the name of group called Anonymous Group, right? So they are world famous hacking group, hacktivists actually. So what they do is, let's suppose there is something wrong happening. Let's suppose, let me give an example of recent activities that happened in USA, where George Floyd was killed. Like, it was killed thing, and everyone was like Black Lives Matter and stuff, and everyone was like protesting against the US government and police, because of the guy was died because of choke in his head, in his neck, right? So now what anonymous hacker group did is, they actually hack into Elena's publicity group, and they actually hack into their network. They got all the city cameras footage and everything, and they release on their own website, right? So this is how they work. Then there are other type of hackers. They are called cyber terrorists. So cyber terrorists, like, mostly terrorist group who are having cyber wing. Let me give an example of it. ISIS, maybe you heard about ISIS, who is in they are like a big terrorist group across the world, and they are very famous as well. So ISIS actually have a cyber wing, where they actually deploy and hire cybersecurity experts who help them to reach out them more and more places, to reach out more and more people, and fulfill their agenda. So they are called cyber terrorists. Now, besides that, there are other different kind of hackers. One is suicide hackers. The suicide hackers, like suicide bombers, they have given a task. Like, company or someone has given them task that you have to perform this thing, and after this thing happens, they won't take responsibility of anyone, right? That particular hacker, that this is our guy, kind of stuff, and the person can be actually at a risk only. Then sponsored hackers. So sponsored hackers, mostly sponsored by the government. Let's suppose US government hired someone, as in, maybe you heard about or you saw this thing in movie where the US government is hiring CIA agents, hiring some sharpshooters to actually kill CIA agents, and they want to disown them. So they hire someone, right? Similarly, US government hire some hackers, which are called sponsored hackers. Similarly, US, not just USA, Chinese, then Russians. So it has been in the news from last 1 and 2 years that Russian hackers, sponsored hackers, were government sponsored hackers were there, who actually hacked into US elections, and that's how Trump won the election last time. And this time, there was something fishy that happened, and somehow he got good amount of votes, right? So this is how the whole sponsor hackers thing works. Now, script kiddies. Script kiddies are like newbies, the people who just started learning about cyber security, don't know how actually it works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, like a normal programmer, right? So it happens with your copy pasted some code from Stack Overflow, and you're running some code. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Similarly, from script kiddies, like they copied some code from somewhere, from XYZ blog, XYZ website and stuff, and they copy pasted the code, and they're running it. They try to penetrate the website, and somehow they got it right. So they are called script kiddies. Now, this is a particular image that we have in our mind related to hackers, right? So this is like there is a dark room, and the people with a green screen, and they're working and hacking something. But this is not it. This is actually the whole different scenario than this. So this is the original real-time scenario, that lots of companies are hiring cybersecurity experts, cybersecurity researchers, and they're working like this in this ecosystem, in this environment, where they're actually coding their network, doing some network pen testing, network security testing, network analysis. They're actually coding stuff, they're creating exploits, doing penetration testing, vulnerability assessment, right? So this is how actually looks like when cybersecurity researcher or hacker is working, right? So now this is as common as a graphics designer, cybersecurity researcher, or ethical hacker are as normal as possible, as normal as graphics designer, social engineering trainer, network analyst, social media consultant and stuff. Now, what is so we have talked about cyber ethical hackers and stuff, right? Hacking and stuff. Now, what is cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is a domain of an particular expertise, right? So let's suppose if I say I am in cybersecurity domain. So what does it mean? So whole cyber world is there, right? Everything is IT enabled and everything. So everywhere is we are connected with every different types of devices, hardware, software, and everything. Now we are talking about security in that particular aspects, and the cyber security researcher or ethical hacker, there is a fine line, or we can say the big difference between them actually. So ethical hacker doesn't require any permission. He doesn't work as a professional. He or she doesn't work in a proper suitable office environment, right? Cybersecurity researchers or professionals are working in a companies. They are working and they are bound with the laws. They are bound with the agreements. They are working in a professional manner. They are taking permissions and everything. So this actually defines the domain of cybersecurity researcher or professional than the ethical hackers and stuff. So ethical hacker, mostly people who are actually doing some pen testing, doing bug bounty and stuff, they're called ethical hackers because they have ethics and they are working on for to safe and betterment of security product of the security. But cybersecurity researcher and professional are actually doing jobs, 9 to 5 jobs, and security and and providing security, providing services, and as in professional manner. Now, how to get started with cybersecurity? So, if you're about getting started with cybersecurity, and if you're thinking to start your career in cybersecurity, so there are a few aspects that you should be aware about and you should know that, and you should read details, or on daily basis you should read about cybersecurity. What is happening in the cybersecurity domain? What kind of new things is happening? Let's suppose some data breach happened, data leak happened, someone created malware, it got viral, and ransomware attack was happened. Some data has been breached, it has been leaked, and where what happened? You should be aware about the cybersecurity domain because every day something new happens. Every day you won't believe that every day more than 45,000 malwares come in the market. Right, that's a huge number. That just we are talking about just malware, not other incidents. Right, so you should be aware about what is happening in cybersecurity domain. Then you should obviously get an technical knowledge about this. You should take some certification course or technical lectures, technical workshop. You should attend these things to gain knowledge about cybersecurity. Then get a hands-on experience. So it's better if you are like attending webinars and stuff. That's good, but you should also practice such thing in a closed environment. I won't suggest you to actually hack someone's website, but I would suggest that please get a hands-on of it. So you can install lots of softwares as there like DVWA and lots of other softwares that are there for a closed environment penetration testing, right? So you can use this thing, get a hands-on experience on it, attend some workshops, proper hands-on workshops as well. Then earn certification. So earning certification is the most important part because the things as of now happening in the world are in the domain of education. So cybersecurity, no one is actually teaching you the real-time issues or real-time things that is happening in domain of cybersecurity. So let's suppose if you are like right now, let's suppose if you are doing some bachelor's or master in cybersecurity or PhD in cybersecurity, but in education system you are not learning this thing what is actually happening in domain of cybersecurity. So you should know such things. You should earn some certification as well to understand that what is happening and to recognize your knowledge and skill, right? So it has to be there. So you should learn certification, starting from the small minor certification, but from later on if you have. So actually the certification programs are very